Today we're going to talk about cost management documents, what's what, and what you might need to financially plan and control your construction project successfully. This video follows on from our previous video, which covered the topic from project inception to tender. And this is part 2 in our series of 3 videos. This video will cover the tender stage documentation. Before we get into it, let's just recap from our previous video. In the previous video, we talked about the order of cost estimate, which is a document that sets out the details of the authorised budget and cost limit, cost plans that aim to keep expenditure within cost limits approved by the client, and the final cost plan and pre-tender estimate that estimates the likely cost of the works that are described in the complete tender documents prepared to seek tenders from prospective contractors. So let's get stuck into the tender stage QS documents. There are several types of documents used for tender pricing, and the level of detail they include are broadly categorised as unquantified schedules of works, quantified schedules of works, unquantified bills of quantities, quantified bills of quantities, tender stage cost plan, and a contract sum analysis. Schedules of works are, as the name suggests, lists of works entailed in a project. Typically, they are used for small building projects or alteration works and enable the contractor to price the work. The schedules provide high-level data and more in-depth information about the quality of items should be attained from specifications, documents issued alongside the schedules and drawings. Schedules of works are designed to assist the contractor in preparing their estimate. Whilst it's down to the contractor to ensure they have sufficient information to accurately estimate the costs, it is equally important to ensure the schedules provide sufficient quality information to avoid claims from the contractor at a later date. To give an example of the difference between unquantified and quantified schedules, unquantified schedules refer broadly to each item without detailing the exact number, i.e. a line in the schedule might detail the installation of internal doors without detailing how many doors are required. By contrast, quantified schedules of works provide the number of doors, but the specification with regards to fire rating, material, size or location would need to be taken from the accompanied drawings and specification documents. Bills of quantities are a more comprehensive document and in turn offer greater cost certainty for all parties. Whilst the client may choose to obtain a BQ and then share unpriced versions with the tendering contractors, it is a more common approach for a contractor to obtain their own BQ. Prepared by a professional cost consultant, BQs require completed drawings and detailed specifications in order for the BQ to be compiled. The project is broken down into defined elements, prelims, substructures, superstructures, and so on, all in accordance with recognised industry standards. BQs are required to comply with the new Rules of Measurement 2, NRM 2. However, as estimators and contractors still prefer the standard method of measurement 7, SMM 7, the industry adopts the use of both. The term unquantified BQ may sound counterintuitive and to a layperson might be a tricky concept to grasp. In some respects, they could be compared to unquantified schedules of works. For example, there may be a line in the bill requiring a removal of a specified item from a specified location while actually providing the measurement of the item, thereby rendering it an unquantified item. Quantified BQs provide the greatest cost certainty for a construction project. This is a highly detailed document that takes into account of every item and activity involved in delivering a completed project and sets a cost against it line by line. Where assumptions are made, these will be set out, making them easy to identify and to monitor. With projects broken down into distinct work packages, the procurement of subcontractors is made easier, as it is the pre- and post-contract cost monitoring and the assessment and handling of variations. The tender stage cost plan is the cost plan in place at the point at which tenders are invited and can be issued at various times in the project, as demonstrated by the REBA plan of works. If the tender process starts early in the design process, then clearly there will be changes along the way. The more comprehensive and developed the cost plan is, at the point it is issued, the greater the cost certainty for both the client and the contractor that the project can be delivered within the budget parameters. Cost plans are particularly useful for construction management and management contracting procurement and are used as a contract document. A contract sum analysis is a cost breakdown that should be provided by the contractor as part of their tender on design and build projects. In practice, however, the employer's requirements will prescribe the format and breakdown that the contract sum analysis should take, and is usually an adapted version of the final cost plan produced by the QS prior to tender. The CSA in the employer's requirements will generally omit quantities and replace these with, for example, one item, as quantification is a contractor's responsibility. By the QS not producing a CSA in the ERs and relying purely on the contractor to produce the CSA, it is somewhat counterintuitive, as the CSA will usually be revisited and expanded before construction commences to ensure that it properly reflects the nature of the project and to ensure it is suitable basis for payment and avoid any front loading. So in summary, the aim of the tender stage documents is to achieve comparable end-to-end costs for the project from tendering contractors in order to award the contract to the bidder able to demonstrate the greatest value for money. Note, however, that value for money does not necessarily mean the cheapest bid wins, and nor should it. With properly completed tender submissions, it will become apparent which bidder is best equipped to deliver the element of the project and how pricing compares across the returns. If a contractor has misinterpreted aspects of the design, it will usually become apparent during the tender process, thus affording the client the opportunity to clarify these areas. So, I hope you found value in this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us, and we really look forward to hearing from you.